Hi, welcome to my travel video on Arunachalam. Arunachalam is also called Thiruvannamalai in Tamil Nadu. How to reach to this place, I'll let you know at the end, so stay tuned. Arunachalam, the place I have longed to visit, waiting for the divine call from Lord Shiva. And finally, the time came and I set off to Arunachalam on a weekend. I started my Arunachalam temple darshan at 6 o'clock in the morning. Even though it was morning, there was a long queue. I opted for normal darshan, which cost around 50 rupees per person. It took me 2 hours for the darshan, and surprisingly I didn't feel like I waited for a couple of hours in the queue because I was so excited about the darshan and most importantly to be in that sacred place. I have to tell you about this incident. I was so excited about the darshan, right? But my unconscious brain missed the darshan. I was waiting in the queue, walking through the queue, thinking there was more to the queue, and finally I was in the exit queue. I stood there in shock. Had I really missed the darshan after traveling so far and waiting this long? I was so disheartened. By God's grace, there was a police officer who was maintaining the queue. I explained to him that I missed the darshan, so he was kind enough to help me to rejoin the line and I completed my darshan. Did you also not notice the Garbhagudi at first? Let me know in the comments that I am not alone. After the darshanam, I started with Giri Pradakshana. It starts from Rajagopuram, which is the entry and end point to the Giri Pradakshana. It is believed to light a diya and pray with coconut before beginning the Giri Pradakshana. There are 8 lingas called Ashta Lingas which needs to be visited while doing our Giri Pradakshana. These Ashta Lingas starts with Indra Lingam and then progresses through the rest of the Ashta Lingams while we do Giri Pradakshana. Giri Pradakshana is also known as Girivalam. Giri means hill. So basically we are doing Pradakshana around the hill. It is believed that walking around this Arunachala Hill is equivalent to doing Pradakshana around Lord Shiva. Giri Pradakshana is 14 kilometers long and it usually takes around 5 hours to complete. There are many food stalls and drinking water facilities installed along the route to stay hydrated. I recommend starting Giri Pradakshana in the morning and completing it by noon so that we can avoid scorching sun and hot roads because we walk barefoot. It's time for you to learn from my mistakes. So there is Ramana Maharshi Ashramam and Skanda Ashramam along our Giri Pradakshana way. So it's okay to visit Ramana Maharshi Ashramam, but to reach Skanda Ashramam we have to trek 2 kilometers uphill and 2 kilometers downhill and continue our Giri Pradakshana. So I did that and I drained all my energy and I struggled to complete my Giri Pradakshana of 14 kilometers with all the pain in my feet. Take my advice, visit all these ashramams separately and focus on Giri Pradakshana. Your feet will thank you. It was in the evening I completed my Giri Pradakshana. I took some time to refresh and relax, then started back home. That was my one-day trip to Arunachalam. Now, how to travel to Arunachalam? I personally travelled by bus. It took around 12 to 13 hours. I started in Hyderabad at 4 o'clock in the evening, then reached Thiruvannamalai the next day at 4:30 am in the morning. Now, the second option is to travel by train. Try to find direct trains to Thiruvannamalai. If you cannot find direct trains, then try to book to Katpadi Junction, which is the major railway station near Thiruvannamalai. From here, you can find direct buses to Thiruvannamalai. That's my Arunachalam travelling experience. Have you been to Arunachalam? Share your experience in the comments. Happy travelling!